Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Rachel from Rachel Reads, and today I'm going to be talking about 11 movies that I think were better than the book that they were based on. Some of these are going to be popular opinions, some of them are going to probably be unpopular. I don't mean to disrespect anyone or disrespect the authors. These are just some of my opinions that I thought I would share with you. Okay, without further ado, let me preface this by saying maybe some of the issues with these are that I saw the movies before the book. I find that can be an issue, but sometimes just movies can be better than the books. Most of the time, the books that movies were based on is better, but not always. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is one that some people will agree with me and some people will disagree with, but that is The Fellowship of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And for me, this kind of represents the whole series. I did not particularly enjoy the Lord of the Rings series, but what I did enjoy was the movie, Peter Jackson's movies. They are still some of my favorite. Like the action, the cinematography, they are just so good and so gripping. I actually know some of them word for word. I don't like Frodo as a character. I quite often just skip his chapters, but I really do love the Lord of the Rings films. I think the issue for me with the novels is that they are just so wordy. I think that J.R.R. Tolkien was writing these, after the First World War, and he really needed to be descriptive with his language so his audience could imagine these beautiful places and these beautiful sceneries. But I feel like now, in the 21st century, this much description can just turn readers off. Well, it did for me anyway. I think I read about 40 pages about trees and then I just switched off and I just really had trouble getting engaged. I also found sometimes some of the names, when it's written, I could get a little bit confused and I had trouble keeping characters separated in my mind. I know I was talking about this with a girl from work this week and she completely disagrees with me. She says the trilogy of books are some of the favorite that she has read and she didn't particularly enjoy the films, but the difference is she read the novels first, I saw the films first. So that's probably my issue with Lord of the Rings. The next one that I'm going to talk about is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And this one, it's probably not fair. Like, I actually didn't mind this as a book, but Jurassic Park was just amazing. I first watched Jurassic Park when I was a child and I was obsessed with dinosaurs. I wanted to be a paleontologist, and the cinematography, the special effects, the noises, the acting, it was all there for me. Whereas Jurassic Park, the novel, I found it was a little bit more scientific based. You read a lot more about the science, and it was less about the action and the characters. I found. I think that the adaptation was done very well. That isn't saying that the book isn't great. I just think the movie is better. The next one that I'm going to talk about is another one that I really enjoyed, another film that I really like, and that is The First Wives Club. The novel is by Olivia Goldsmith. Again, the novel here isn't particularly bad. I enjoyed it. I just think the movie was so much better and so much funnier. I loved the ensemble cast of Goldie Hawn and Bette Midler and what's her name? I've forgotten her name. I've forgotten her name. If you know who I'm talking about, please comment it below. And I love seeing Sarah Jessica Parker and how young she was. I just think the comedy translated so much better to film than it did to novel. Again, I did enjoy this novel, but the film was better because it was funnier. I just think the humor was better. Yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, the next one that I'm going to talk about is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but it's The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. And I tried so many times to read this book. I don't know if you've ever successfully read The Count of Monte Cristo. It is It's almost 1,300 pages of tiny text. Like, let me show you that. It is tiny, and I have tried to read this about 3 times. This bookmark has been in there since, okay, it's a receipt. Let's have a look and see what the date was. Okay, it's so faded you can't even read the receipt anymore. But some of the coupons on the back. Okay, so there's still coupons for Blockbuster. I don't know where any Blockbuster video shops still are, but they expired on the 13th of February 2012. So this bookmark has been in there for at least 7 years, probably more. And I made it up to 648. I think I have made it a little bit further a couple of times, but it just couldn't do it. It's just so big and it's so draining. I think the movie I really liked. It's different. It's so much faster. There's so much action, and I love the idea of revenge. And I just think that when something is 1,300 pages, and the movie can be, you know, 2 or 3 hours, and it does it, and it, I think that was the problem for me. It was just too big and too long, whereas the movie just wrapped it up. It got, you know, there's so much action, so much fast pace. You still saw those ideas of revenge and you know, plotting, and you know, I love the idea that the characters were self-made, and you know, they had this, I don't know, I just really liked the film, and I wanted to love the book. I really did, and I love the idea of it. It's just so big. I have got the abridged copy, but I feel like if I can't get through this, I don't deserve to read the abridged copy. Like, I feel like I've just failed. And one day I'm going to finish this, and then maybe I'll change my mind. But until I do, the movie was better. Next one I don't think will be too shocking, and that is The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. I didn't like this book. I found it really boring and dull, and I didn't think it was particularly well written, but I did love the film. I really did. I think that Meryl Streep was fantastic in it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was heart-wrenching. I liked Anne Hathaway in it. I just think that the film was great. This, I think, was poorly written, slow, and dull. Sorry. The next one for me, and this one is probably going to be controversial, but it is Anne of Green Gables by L. M. Montgomery. And I love this book. I really do. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. But I think that the film just holds such a special place in my heart. I got it when I was 5 or 6 for a birthday, and I remember watching it, and the film just, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. It's just such a beautiful story. And I'm talking about the original film with Megan Follows, I think it was, and it was just so beautiful. I don't know, what do you think about this? Like, it wasn't something that was easy for me to put on this list, but I just think the emotional impact that film had for me just made it better than the novel. The novel is still beautiful. I also just think that the language there was a little bit more accessible for me when I was a child reading this book. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Next one was The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I DNF'd this book. I didn't like it. I got bored. I DNF'd it quite early, probably after 70 pages. Didn't like it. I loved the movie. I thought the movie was really good. I went and bought this almost straight after seeing the film. I hope that they make sequels of the film. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great premise, but this boring crap, to be honest. The next one for me was The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. I did not like the Princess Diaries series. I thought they were trash. Sorry. I really liked the Mediator series. I liked pretty much everything else Meg Cabot read, but I did not like the Princess Diaries. I loved the Anne Hathaway version with the film, and yeah, I preferred the film. I thought it was funny, I thought it was engaging, I thought it was witty, I liked the cast. That was me. Didn't enjoy the books at all. The next one that I'm going to talk about is Anywhere by Here by Mona Simpson. This again is a long book. It is over 500 pages, and it would be a contemporary novel about a girl. It's a coming of age novel about a woman, about a girl and her mother. The film is just so much better. Like, I DNF this book as well. The film would have been one of my childhood favorites. It's got Natalie Portman and Susan Sarandon in it, and it's beautiful. It makes me cry every time I watch it. It's really just heart-wrenching and beautiful. But I just couldn't finish this book. It was slow, it was choppy, and maybe one day I'll give it another go and try and finish it, but it just didn't compare. And when you were reading a book and the movie has been so much better, I mean, sometimes the movies are just better and you just can't get into a author's writing style, and maybe that's just what happened for me here. And I know I said there was going to be 11, but there's actually only 10. I just can't count. And the last one is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brayshaw. I like this book again, but I think the movie was better. I liked the characters. I liked seeing the different girls' stories. Again, the novel was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I just preferred the movie. The last one, there is actually 11. I just forgot to grab this one off the shelf. And I think this opinion could go both ways as well, but it is Forrest Gump by Winston Groom. I didn't mind this book. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 star, but the movie I love. Like, Forrest Gump is an all-time favorite. Watching Tom Hanks in there, it's just such a masterpiece. His acting and communicating that story, I think it's just such a good story, and it's done so well on screen. I love seeing Forrest grow up and go through all of his different scenarios. I like seeing his different relationships, and I think it just translates better to screen than into the written word. I think also, from what I remember, the movie changed a few plot points, and I think I enjoyed those better than the novel. Let me know what you think if you've read Forrest Gump. Again, I liked the book, I just liked the film better. So I know I didn't really explain my thoughts very well here, but I just wanted to talk about some of the movies I liked better than books, because I wanted to start that discussion. Are there any films that you like better than the books that they were based on? I know there's also some TV series that I like better than the books they were based on. Yeah, if you have any films that you like better than the book, please leave them below. This was 11 that I could find out of over 1,000 books on my shelf. There are definitely so many books that I prefer to the film. If I made a book like that, I'd have to do it in several different parts because there's just so many. And I really hope I didn't offend anyone with any of these picks. If these are some of your favorite books, I apologize. It's just they didn't work for me for any particular reason. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye.